Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Way for your 5 talking points for the Manchester United vs Sheffield United Premier League game. As we know, Manchester United travelled to Bramall Lane last night. Obviously, this has been recorded on a Sunday, so Manchester United travelled to Bramall Lane on Saturday, the 21st of October, and faced, of course, 20th place and still remain 20th place Sheffield United. Obviously, before we get stuck into the talking points and stats and all that stuff. Just before we get stuck in, please much appreciated if you could like the video, comment on your thoughts on the game, and hit that big red subscribe button. We're on 778 subscribers, so let's just get that to 800, and then let's see what we can do there. But yeah, before we get stuck into it, I just want to talk about the game in an eggshell. If you want to say it. Manchester United weren't great last night. They weren't great. They could be better, and we know that. We know Manchester United can be better than what they were against Sheffield United. It just, especially the first half, we were very, very poor. Sheffield United we were too open. Sheffield United were tearing through us like a hot knife through butter. We were basically like the promoted side, and they were like the team who are always in the Premier League. And yeah, would you get away with such and such first half performance against a top class team? No way. If that was against a Man City or a Liverpool or an Arsenal, even a Chelsea, we would have got our ass handed to us. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about the game. Obviously, we face Copenhagen on Tuesday in the Champions League at Old Trafford. 8 o'clock kickoff, must win. Like I know we've titled other videos here in the United Way must win, but this is literally a must win game against Copenhagen to keep our Champions League hopes alive. But yeah, the game against Sheffield, not the greatest. We got the job done. Not pretty, but we'll take it. Not pretty, but we'll take it. Hard-fought victory. But yeah, let's jump in. Obviously, as we know, Manchester United beat Sheffield United by 2-1. Scott McTominay back on the score sheet, and then a few minutes later, we went up and we conceded a penalty. Now, I want to talk about this concentration post goals, but then a brilliant goal from Diogo Dalot got us the job done, which we'll talk about that Dalot goal as well. So, let's jump into the stats between the two sides. So Sheffield United had 12 shots, Manchester United's 14. Sheffield United had 6 shots on target, Manchester United had 5. Sheffield United's possession was 37.5%, Manchester United 62.5%. Sheffield United's XG was 1.49 to Manchester United's 1.61. Aerial duels, Sheffield United had 52.9%, Manchester United 47.1%. Sheffield United completed 332 passes to Manchester United's 556. Sheffield United's pass accuracy was 67% to Manchester United's 80%. So looking at the stats there, you can say Sheffield United, you can tell the stats are very equal in my opinion. They're very, you couldn't have got them any more spot on. It was a very close, even game. As expected, I said it in the preview. I said this is not going to be an easy game. This could be a scrappy, smash and grab kind of game. Could be, I said the fans were going to get on top of Sheffield. I said the fans were going to they're going to get behind Sheffield, but they're going to try and get on top of us. We don't do well when we go to such and such stadiums, with small stadiums with big crowds, and I don't know why you think we would, but that's just how it is. But yeah, you have to give it to Sheffield United. They turned up last night, and again, we should have maybe made work on it, but as Manchester United do best and don't. So yeah, we didn't make work of Sheffield United last night. But there's the stats. Let us know what you thought of them. Are they equal? Would you disagree? Now, stat number 1 is lack of control. Now, we've seen it in the first half. We've seen it mostly in the first half and bits in the second half. We were not controlling. the ball yesterday, but we're not controlling midfield. We're not controlling the attacking or the defence. Sheffield United were actually in full force control against us, and that's not good. When we got the ball, we weren't holding on to it, we weren't controlling it, we weren't controlling possession. When we were in offense, we weren't doing much defense. It was so scrappy. So you do worry and wonder. That's something we have to work on. It's not like you can say, oh, well, we didn't have a defensive midfielder on the pitch. We had two, Scott McTominay and Sofian Amrabat. The only midfielder on that pitch who wasn't a DM was Bruno Fernandes, and I'm sure if you put him there, he could do the job. But still, we have to work on controlling the games against such teams. If you go to a stadium and you're not a fan of the big crowds, the noisy crowds getting on top of you, turn around and say, listen, it doesn't have to be a pretty performance. Just control the ball and get the goal. Make everything be controlled. I don't get wrong, there was times in the game where we were controlling. Majority of that being in the second half after Ten Hag made his subs, which you have to say, they made subs early. Done the job, didn't he? That's what Ten Hag should do more often, make subs earlier instead of waiting for the last 10 minutes when too late. But yeah, lack of control is something lack of control is something I don't want to see at Manchester United. We have to be controlling. Our midfield is well capable. That midfield last night against Sheffield United is well capable, and I think Sheffield United's midfield was one of the worst midfields in the league, or something like that. So again, that just goes to show how poor we were in the game last night in parts. But again, we haven't been controlling most of the ball or most of the games in previous times. So let us know what you thought. Lack of control is something Manchester United can work on. Personally, I think it is. You see other teams controlling the ball, and we just can't seem to do it, because when teams press us, we crumble. When teams press us, we crumble. We don't know what to do, and then we're left out. We're hung out to pretty much dry. So yeah, like Sheffield United, back to that match. When they were pressing us, we were like, oh shit. We kept getting the ball, giving it back to, say, Johnny Evans or Harry Maguire or Lindelof or Dallo, you name it. And we were just giving the ball forwards. Why? Because they were pressing us, and that's not controlling. You try to give it to Onana, Lindelof, control the ball, midfield, blah, blah, blah. Most games are won through midfield battles, and this is something we have to work on, is just control the game. Control the game is what we have to do. So, talking point number 2, I want to really talk about this is, Manchester United's concentration post goals. Now, when I say post goals, I mean goals we score. We have played a lot of teams so far this season. We scored against Arsenal. What happened? They went up and scored the other end not too long after that. Jesus Christ. We scored against Galatasaray in the Champions League. They went up and scored straight after that. Twice, by the way. Not once, twice. So again, not great. I feel like I'm missing another game to you. Bayern Munich, we scored. They went up and scored the other end. Twice as well. Sheffield United, last night, we go up. Scott McTominay puts the ball in the back of the net. What happens a few minutes later? We go up. Scott McTominay gives a penalty away, and Sheffield United put the ball in the back of the net. That's lack of control. That is lack of control. Like, that goes with talk. That's like talk. That just brings me back to talking point number 1. Lack of control. Like, Arsenal played Tottenham once, and Tottenham scored straight after. And what did Arsenal do? Sorted straight after. We cannot be doing this. We have Manchester City coming up next Sunday. If you score against them and you're ahead, You want to be full on. You want to do a little celebration. Yes, get in there, son. Happy days, beating the shittest team in the world. And then you want to go up, and then you want to say, right, defense, concentration, back to positions. No messing about. No messing about. So when we score, Bruno especially, or even Maguire, who was on the pitch, used to be captain, should turn around and say, right, lads, concentration, focus, back into position, because they're going to want to get at us. That's what teams do now. When we score first, teams go up the other end and hit us, because it's like we go forward too much. We kind of lackadaisy, and then we forget what we're meant to do. So that is something Manchester United have to work on. Again, we have to be more concentrated when we score goals. That's something we have to literally work on, and there's no beating around the bush there. There really is no beating around the bush. That our concentration post goals has to improve a lot, because if it doesn't, it's not gonna. What's the point of scoring? You know what I mean? It's like we just got all shit, and then McTominay put his arm out. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? It constantly happens, and it's like we're still celebrating the goal without realising. That's what it feels like. But again, let us know you talking point number 2. You know, it's concentration post goals. Talking point number 3, which is probably not a popular talking point, but I thought I'd throw it in there. The Rasmus Højlund, a lack of service. Now, since he's came to Manchester United, he hasn't had quite the ball. He kind of has to come back a few times and get the service himself. You know, we're trying to whip balls into him, but they're not good. Like Rashford whipped a few balls into him last night. Didn't work out. He did it once or twice, and I thought, oh, you know, they're more on the ground kind of crosses, but I was like, oh, okay, fair enough, nice. And then Anthony just, I don't know, can't get Anthony's crosses got put into him, in all honesty. But yeah, that if we can get more service to Rasmus Højlund, whether it's short pass, long pass, but you know, long cross into the box, get him onto it, we can score more goals and we can win more games more convincingly and more easily. We're not doing that. You look at, again, Man City. They have big man Haaland up top. What do? Get the ball to Haaland. That should literally be get the ball to Erling, get the ball to Højlund, get the ball to Rasmus Højlund, the best striker in Manchester, in the world, sorry. I'm being biased, I promise. But, well, he has the potential to be. But still, that's something we have to work on, is giving the ball into Rasmus Højlund more often. You know what I mean? Like, you imagine if we had a David Beckham or Ryan Giggs or some sort, or even a Nanny, whipping balls into Rasmus Højlund. He'd be scoring double hat-tricks a game. You know what I mean? He is really a good player. He's strong. You know, he's physical, he's fast, he's tall, he's a big lad. We have to be working on that more often. And getting a bit of service to Rasmus Højlund instead of trying to go for shots. Like if you're struggling, you should whip the ball into the box. But the problem is, you seen it last night. Obviously, Lindelof wasn't overlapping, but Dalot was overlapping Anthony, and Dalot was running into the box, so you couldn't really hit the ball in. It was just a cross, and it's just going back to Rashford on the left-hand side. He's giving it back to Bruno. It's people taking a shot. We should be getting when we have that ball on the flanks, we should be Rasmus Højlund. It's always in the box, and we should whipping the ball into him. Mind you, we did it a few times last night, and it was, it'd be done well with it, but we have to keep doing it more often. That's just what I'm saying. So yeah, that's what we thought of talking point number 3. Talking point number 5, Harry Maguire got man of the match. Now, I know some of you are saying, oh, Dean, Harry Maguire got man of the match. Oh, you have an agenda against him. If Bruno got man of the match, you wouldn't have even spoke about it. Rashford, blah, blah, blah. I just want to say, I'll admit, I had an agenda against Harry Maguire. But the way he's performing now, I'm behind him. He got man of the match last night, and I was actually surprised. I've done it much long for it. Check it out if you haven't. Like, Maguire got man of the match. I wasn't like, no, he didn't deserve that. It was like, whoa, Maguire. When was the last time he got man of the match? You know what I mean? That's like, it was nice to see because his confidence is built up. Just hopefully that ego he has doesn't get too carried away. Doesn't get bigger. We're like, whoa, Maguire. Like, how did you manage that? How did you manage that? And it was nice to see because he was very calm on the ball last night, very cool, didn't make any mistakes. One thing about Maguire, the first 5-10 minutes for him was always very shaky, but then he finds his feet and then he's back to playing well again. So I'm not saying we're starting to see the Maguire we paid for, but I'm saying it's solid, and if he just keeps that up and can improve and improve and improve, Maguire could be literally in there. Like, let's be honest, at the time we're at, he couldn't have a better time to burst himself in there because Leach is out injured. We still don't have Reguilon back. So we just said, Maguire, will Ten Hag drop him in the derby next Sunday? I don't know. That's a big call, but that's for that game, isn't it? But let us know what you think of Harry Maguire so far. I actually think he's doing very well. I mean, I think what was it? Without Maguire, we won 13 times. And with Maguire, with Maguire, hold on, give us 2 seconds. With Maguire. Without Maguire, we lost 13 times, and with him, we've only lost once. So that goes to tell you how good Maguire has been since he came in. But let us know what you thought of Harry Maguire last night. I thought it was solid. Would you start them more often against the Cities and the Arsenal? Let us know in the comments. I mean, at the moment with Leach being out and we haven't got Shaw back or Reguilon, might as well just keep it going. Now we'll talk about Diogo Dalot's goal. I'm not going to talk about it too much like I do with the recent talk points, but Dalot's goal last night was a peach, top right hand corner, keeper got a hand to it, didn't do much with it, couldn't do much with it. It was a brilliant goal, wasn't it? I mean, it's probably what we had to do. Dalot got the ball, had it onto his left, snooked it onto his right, put it in. And I was saying Dalot's not really having a great game, and he proved me wrong. But again, that just goes to show what happens. It was a brilliant goal. It was the winning goal in the end. And again, that could boost our defense's confidence could be boosted up a lot now, which is always nice to see at the moment. We haven't got a fully fit team, but we just have to keep it going the way we are at the moment, keep grasping out victories against the teams, whoever it is. But that has been the 5 talking points for the Sheffield United versus Manchester United game. Let us know what you thought in the comments. Did you agree with the 5 talking points? Let us know your thoughts on the game. Let us know your 5 talking points. And please like, comment, and hit that big red subscribe button. And we'll be back Monday for the Manchester United versus Copenhagen preview. But until then, have a good one. And just to remind you, Manchester United beat Sheffield United with 2-1. Goals from McTominay and Dalot. Oliver McBurney goal. Penalty, sorry. Not enough. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all on the next one.